Many people are aware of the strategy that I use to place the signs to help my neighbor recover her 6-month baby Chihuahua puppy that went missing in the forest for 4 nights. And my neighbor was just crazed, as I would be.
Hi, I'm Peggy. I'm with my best friend Sheila of almost 30 years. We're making this video because her message is extremely important, especially during this time. So Sheila passed away 3 times. The longest time was for 15 minutes, and that was at the hospital. They gave her 3 heart attacks. Once she came out of the 3rd heart attack and they took the breathing tube out of her, the first thing she said to me was, Jesus came to me 3 times.
And here's the actual recording.
Yeah, and here's the actual recording when I said, hold on, and then I got the recorder. What was your dream?
I woke up. I was in a lucid dream. Half asleep and half awake. Because Jesus woke me up. And once again, he said, do you want to come? I said, no. And I wish for a matter of fact about that. And I could tell he was disappointed. Anyone on it asked me, what do I want to take?
What did you what?
What did I want to take? Special power? He didn't say that, but I got the feeling.
He didn't say that, but you got that feeling. What did you want to take? Okay. Back from wherever you were to here? Running out of steam now. Oh, be careful with your eye sheet. You don't want to... Careful, I'll do it. There you go. So, okay, so he asked you, what did you want to take? He didn't ask you, you had the feeling. Tell me about your dream, the lucid dream with Jesus.
I know. Maybe get it back up a little bit.
I can barely hear you, Sheila.
He wasn't. Last time, he was disappointed.
So how'd you come back?
That. I said, no, I want to stay. What the hell I was thinking? I started getting too about.
So you said he gave you something.
already gave you? Life. Life? Yeah.
Thank you for joining in again, and I think I have some pretty exciting news that I'd like to share for you, or an idea anyways. Before though, I want to say, with all the upheaval we got going on in the world today, I'm just wondering if we should be downloading our videos that we like, because you have my permission to download any of my videos and copy them and share them. We just ask that you kind of leave it in its integrity. And I'm definitely having a hard time speaking today, but I'll do the best I can. It's weird. Sometimes I speak and other times I can't. Okay. I was all queued up to share my couch time nuggets with you. Again, the ones that I missed last week, but God immediately came in at 3 o'clock in the morning again. Thank goodness I already am up at that hour. But because he's waking me up, bing. Anyway, he said, Sheila, it doesn't say it exactly like this, but this is what I'm telling you. Sheila, I would like for you to please share with your sisters and brothers some of the answered prayers that your prayers that I have answered for you. Okay. So a couple of hours goes by and I'm still trying to think about this, because I'm thinking I have to have better than I gotta make it to where we're utilizing this. We're better. We have a powerful resource in our hands, in my hands, and I don't think I'm using it good enough. So I say, Heavenly Father, I said, I need more than that. And he said one thing to me. He said, talk to town. And I knew right away what he was talking about. Okay, back in 2012, I decided I'm going to take a video production course at the local college. And I just wanted to know how to edit my videos and upload them, but it turned out to be much more than that. Anyways, make a long story short, the professor handed out the assignments she was telling us the assignments. I forgot what you call it. It's called something weird. It's like the curriculum, but it's not. It's something else. Anyways, one of the assignments, we were going to have to produce our own television show. We were going to have to host it. We were going to have to work the cameras and everything. And it had to be at least 12 minutes long. And we were going to be using the local television station, Public Access. That building with all their equipment, we had full-blown access to it to learn how to use this equipment. And she said that the show could be anything you wanted, as long as it met the parameters that she had set forth for us. And I can't tell you how exciting that was to me, because it was like, are you kidding me? I can do something, I forgot to say, she said, and also, if you want to make a couple episodes, we can get them to play it on the channel station throughout the counties that support that station, which was about 7 of them. So 250,000 people, we had the opportunity to see our show. And that just lit me up like you wouldn't believe. I already knew what I was going to do. Right away, God dropped it right in my head. I was thinking, because me and my friends, we always kind of sit around, knock about our ideas, and I have a lot of friends who are doing inspiring things to help others, as I was. And I called up Peggi first. I said, Peggi, you're not going to believe it. I have access to this TV station, and we can all come on. I have to be host, and we'll all come on and toot our horns. I'm going to call it, you're the talk of the town. That's it. Yeah. And I'm going to invite my friends, and I'm getting all pumped up about it. I tell Peggi she's going to be the first guest. And I tell my friends, I said, don't worry about what you're going to say. I'll lead you into it. That way you can shine the best you can without worrying about sound like you're bragging. I'm going to make you brag, if you will, and you'll be excused for it. Anyways, he was showing me to say, I took that show and I turned what could have been my own stage and I invited others to get on it with me. And that's what I want to do with this platform that we have here. And I'm going to show you a clip from that show, just because I just talked about it. I would like for you to see it. Okay, I'll just clip that in, we'll watch it, and we'll come back.
Thank you for tuning in to You Are the Talk of the Town, the show where you get to pitch yourself, toot your own horn, beep beep. Okay, wait a minute. You're telling me that you went to motorcycle mechanic school to learn how to work on motorcycles, and you have one hand?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it doesn't hold me back. It actually pushes me further.
The goal is to have mistletoe kisses on the radio this Christmas season.
Yes, I'm living my husband's dream.
They've been diagnosed. A lot of them have been told they're not going to live. And you come in and say, well, all you got to do is focus on the positive and you'll get better.
I'm looking for a singer like Fantasia.
You're the talk of the town. Let us know, what is it that you need? What do you desire? How can we help? Thank you for asking. I would like an investor, I tell people.
You're not going to believe this. The Wienermobile is coming to town and they're going to donate their time and bringing the mobile to the food bank. And the food bank doesn't know what to do with them. You know, and both Susan and I were like, we know what to do.
Yolanda Adams.
For a senior, it's all about quality of life. It's bringing back the golden years.
Very basic need for human beings, that curiosity who they are.
Celine Dion to sing it. That would be ideal. That would be incredible.
Okay, so what God was saying is, because remember I was saying to God, I want to make more of an impact than just to tell about whatever I'm talking about, and then my viewers are leaving wonderful praise and thanking me. But I think that so what I'm going to ask. Tonight's subject is going to be answered prayers, as you know. I'm going to tell two stories of my answered prayers, and then I'm going to ask that instead of at the end of the video you sending me wonderful kind words, which I really appreciate, please don't misunderstand me, but I'm going to ask you if you could just, if you want to say those things, just leave me a heart and I will know what you mean. And then what I would like for you to do is get on the stage with me and leave your story in the comment area of how God answered a prayer for you. And this way, when others come to our channel and they watch our videos, not only are they hearing my story, but they're also hearing yours as well. Because the idea is we want to bring ourselves up. And remember, God always answers our prayers, even though there are those that would have us believe God is dead, He doesn't listen to us, He doesn't hear us. No, we want to say, no, that's not true. Because many of us, we're getting weary. Sometimes we are weary. And then also for the other people that come to the, because we all read with each other, right? And we don't know who's actually popping in. What if it's one of our lost sisters and brothers? Because our primary objective is to reel them back in so we can bring them back home with us for Dad. Because that's what He wants. He wants all of His children home, and so do we. So if we could please team up, and I will know what you mean by the heart, and then share a story. Let's see how far we can go with that. Okay, we're going to set a new trend. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you two answered prayers, and then I want to show you, I'm going to share with you how not to pray from my own personal experience. Okay, first one, I decided I would tell you about Cherry. And that's the picture of the dog you see with me at opening every one of my videos. You see me standing there, there's a poster of the 2 dogs. Okay, this story will blow you away. One day, I don't know, I think it was 2012 or 14 when Cherry went missing. Anyways, Peggy and I were taking a break. And we're kicking back on the deck, just relax. And all of a sudden on the back lot, it's about 200 yards, and then there's a road down there. You see cars and there's other houses. All of a sudden, we start hearing the screaming, the dog fighting, carrying on, and Peggy and I, whoa, what's that? And we can't run straight through the lot because I got the fence there. I don't even think we put on shoes. We jumped out, when he got in the car, drove around the corner, and we see a lady in the middle of the street. She has 2 dogs fighting each other, and she's going absolutely crazy. But yet it wasn't. It was like a more bark and bite type of situation. We said, what's happening? Is everything okay? She said, oh, my puppy jumped out of my arm, and he's running down the street. This dog, I'm telling you, it was maybe about 2 of my hands. This dog was so small, the legs were about that long. It was a puppy chihuahua in heat, which I didn't know until after I find out later. Let me take a sip of water. And she's going absolutely crazy. But she finally calms down the 2 dogs on the leash, and they weren't hurt or anything. They was just making too much noise, and it freaked out the little puppy, who is now running down the street, blending in with everything on the forest floor. You couldn't tell if it was her or a coconut, or a pine cone. Okay, so Peggy jumped out the car, and she run down the street a little bit and trying to see if she could see dog. No see dog. We pull over, park, and we're both kind of on foot for about 10 minutes helping her, but we got to get back to work. And I said, we introduced, she lived right behind us, but we didn't know her. Her name was Liz. I said, I'm Sheila, and this is Peggy, and I said, I have to go, but I'll be happy to come back and help you. You should probably put some signs. I didn't tell her about signs yet. That's right. I said, I get off work at 5, but I'll come and help you if you have not found her yet. She said, okay. She crying. She totally upset. She ain't told her. Go back to the house, finish up the work. I called her. I said, did you find dog? She said no. And she was just absolutely beside herself. I said, if you like, I will come out and I will help you look for the dog. She said, okay. And so we get together, and I could tell that whatever was happening to her at this time in her life, it wasn't good. She was already very fragile. And that dog, I think if we hadn't got her that dog, God would have lost one of his children. I'm sure of it, because she didn't need that to happen. Anyways, so we're walking around, and she's, I'm not going to find her, I'm not going to find her. I said, no, we'll find her. Well, let's go, Cherry. We went all around, we don't see her. And it's about, this time it's about 7:30. And I said, well, you're going to need to put signs up, because if anybody sees her, they need to know who to contact. And she said, okay. I said, you going to put some signs up? She said, okay, I will. I said, I have to work in the morning, but I'll be happy to come help you if you don't find her tomorrow evening. All right. We say goodbye. I called her next morning. I said, it was probably like around 11 I called her, and she's at home still in bed. I said, oh, Liz, did you put signs up? She said, no, I can't. She's crying. She said, I can't. And my family, they're all telling me, dog, just forget it. You're not going to find her. And I'm just so, no. You have to put signs up. And so I decided I'm just going to make signs for her, because I don't think she's going to be able to do it. I'll at least make the signs. So I said, I'm going to make some signs for you. Send me a picture of the dog, and then maybe come over in an hour or two, pick up signs and go put them up. She said, okay. I make signs. She comes over, gets signs. I said, and I'll come out at 5 o'clock. I get off work, and I'll come and help you if you haven't got dog. She said, okay, Sheila, thank you so much. She okay, 5 o'clock come around. I call her, you find out? No, I didn't call. I didn't find. Did you put signs up? No, I haven't been able to put signs up. My family tell me if you just forget it, and you're not going to, and I said, no, we have to put the signs up. Just give me signs, I'll do it for you. Actually, this wasn't at 5, this was like 3 o'clock. It's 2 hours before I got off work. I left work early. I said, I'm gonna put signs up for you, give me signs. She bring me back signs. I go all around and I place these signs strategically. Just quick tip, if you ever lose pet, don't put signs between 2 stopping points. People are not going to see them. It's wasting your signs. Only put your signs where people have to stop. And that's how you will get your animal if they're still in the area. Okay, I put the signs up right away. Boom, we got a call. She gets a call. Lady said, oh, I just saw that dog last night. It was in my yard and it was heading that way. Okay, the dog's going downhill. Okay, so we said, well, let's go walk over there. We have these little leaflet flyers I made we're handing them out to people. People are calling. I saw the dog. It wouldn't come near me. So we know it's still alive. But now it's like around 9 o'clock at night. It's dark. It's cold. We have to bail. We both like this. I said, let's go. I'll go again in the morning. But I have to take my final. I have to tell my teacher that I'm going to ask my teacher if I could skip the final because I was in class. Remember? No, it wasn't the class I was talking about, the other one. This was another class on, it was on a computer class I was taking. And I had to take the finals. And my teacher, my professor said, Sheila, it's fine. You can take it on this day instead. Because I always did my homework. He knew I wasn't trying to get out of class. I explained them situation and all. So I call her up and say, I'm going to come help you now, and we'll keep walking around and just keep combing the neighborhood. And so about, I don't know, I think it was about 2 o'clock that afternoon, this second day now, that afternoon, we get a phone call from a man and his wife. He said, we were just over in the other city and we saw that dog. He said, because we saw it and we were thinking, why is that little dog by itself? And what they said is, instead of getting back on the freeway to go back home, they decided to come through the forest. And when they got to the top of the forest, they saw our sign. And they called, they said, your dog is over there in town. Okay, whoa. So we get in a car, mind you, this is 3 miles down the forest hill that's like this, windy and everything, and that's where she was spotted. We go down there, we got some sign, post up signs. Boom, getting calls. We saw dog. Yes, that dog is here and running around. Okay, now it's dark. And not only is it dark, it's starting to rain. And so we're, oh God, this dog has no jacket and it's little. You know, chihuahuas, they already shaking as it is. I'm sorry to make the story so long, but I want to give you the whole picture. Okay, we go over to the city, we put up signs, we're calling, nothing. 10 o'clock at night, and the whole time we're walking, Liz is looking at me like she knows that I have this special connection to God. She has no idea that the whole time I'm sick to stomach and I'm praying. I call Peggy, please Peggy, start praying, because if this dog does not get back to her, I don't think she's going to make it through this. She doesn't need this to happen to her. And the whole time I'm just screaming inside, but on the outside yeah, God's going to do it. He's going to bring us the dog. Don't worry, we're going to get her. Panicking. Okay, so we're walking, we're looking everywhere. Nothing. 10 o'clock, we said, I said, we're like this. We're worried. We're so tired. But now it's the next day, the next morning, I have to take final. I cannot call professor and say, ask for another pass on it. But I got the signs up, mind you. And she said, I'll go out in the morning and I'll look again. I said, do that, and then after my finals, which will be about 11 o'clock, if you haven't found dog yet, I will come and I will help you again. Okay, so next morning, I go to class. I think I will get there at 9 o'clock. I'm the only one in class taking tests because he let me do it late. So I turn the cell phone off. I have to get that phone off. I take my test. And after I was done, I didn't even leave class yet. I opened up cell phone to see if I had a voicemail from her. And I hope it's not bad news. And I listened, and this is the exact message she left on that phone.
Sheila, I found Carrie. Sheila, I found her. I found her alongside the beach in the bushes on the left side. Sheila, I found her. I found her. I love you so much. I'll call you back. Thank you so much. I found her. We found her. We found her. Love you, bye.
Goodness. That was, what, 8 years ago, and I still have the recording because it's so wonderful to be able to have witnessed and shared that experience where I was able to see that God answered our prayer, because there's no way we should have had that dog without the help of God. We just shouldn't have. So after I get voicemail, I call her. I say, Liz, wait, she can't even barely talk to me. She said, Sheila, this morning around 6 o'clock, I was laying in bed, I was crying because I wasn't going to go out. Even though I know I told you I wasn't going to go out because I was just too broken hearted. And she said, and something said, we all know what that something was. Jesus, that's our Father. He said, get up. He told her, get up and go back to where you were last night, me and her, and look. And she said she went with her sister. I think she said her sister went with her. And they were walking down there, and she saw right where we were the night before, little dog in the bushes. That when the dog saw her, it perked up and just darted and jumped in her arms. Goodness sakes. I told her, and they were both at home in bed, sleeping and resting. I said, Liz, I'll go take the signs down for you. Don't worry about the signs, and I'll take them down. And maybe later this week or something, you can bring the dog by so we can meet. Because Peggi played a big role in that, because she was at the house praying the whole time for us. And so we can meet the dog. She brought that dog over the next day. It was about this big, and no wonder it survived. That little thing had a mouth on it like you would blink. Oh, but anyways, so the picture, when you see me standing there in the road, it was such a, because the fact that, of course, Heavenly Father helped us, but we also have to do our part. And so I decided I'm going to make a video of how I place the signs so that others, should they have a pet go missing, they will know how I did it. And I got in car. I asked Peggi to drive me around with my camera, and I showed exactly where I put these signs. And then I made it like a tutorial video. Is that what it's called? A how-to video or something like that. From making the signs, laminating them, what to put on it, and then I put it up on YouTube. But I don't think it got much traffic because I don't think that something was weird back then going on. But anyways, that's what I'm doing in that picture. I'm actually making video on how we got her back. And so that's my #1 tonight's story on answered prayers. The second one that I'd like to share with you was with my cat, Casey. I had an office in a country setting, and apparently people would, I guess, let the kittens go there or something. I don't know. One day I showed up at work and I saw this kitten, white and tan kitten, on my door stoop. And as soon as I got out, well, as soon as the car drove into the parking lot, she took off. I was sitting in the office, and the office has one of these long windows that go to the ground. And I see cat in bushes. And I'm thinking, oh, now I can't take my mind off of her. I'm just focused on this cat. Might be hungry. She's about this bitch tiny. Anyways, so what she wasn't that small, she about this big. So I couldn't stop thinking about cat. Okay, leave work. I come back next morning, the same thing. And I said, I'm going to start putting some food there. Make a long story short, this went on back and forth for about a month, I guess. Now, I'm going to be moving. And the cat's gotten accustomed to me feeding her. So, I have to catch her now. I ended up going to get a trap because she wouldn't come to me at all. And I went and got a trap, ended up catching 3 of her kittens on several different occasions instead of her, because I didn't know she had kittens until I caught one of them. And I decided I'm going to keep them. That's my Rocky. That's Rocky. He was the one in the cage. Okay, we got Rocky. Okay, anyways, make a long story short, because Peggy told me I was being too long-winded, maybe re-recorded. Now I'm rushing through it. So thank you very much, Peggy. Anyways, so getting back to it. Okay, I ended up catching the other 2 kittens. One I caught with my hand. That's Boogie. That's the one that had been missing. But I got her. And then there was little Jasper, JJ. Oh, I love JJ. I love them all. Anyways, now I got to get the mama because we're moving. She is not getting in that trap because she already saw her little babies get in the trap and never saw them again. She don't know that in my house. So one night, Peggy and I was at the office packing it up. Had U-Haul truck already sitting in the parking lot, and we decided to go to the there was a restaurant right in that business park building, but it was a country one. It wasn't like these giant buildings. It was out in the country, way out. And we decided to go have some dinner there, and I was just sick to my stomach because I'm thinking, God, please, I don't want to leave and leave Cat behind because she may have gotten used to me feeding her and this and that. So Peggy said, let's go pray. So it's sun setting, everybody's gone, the office building, and most of everybody's gone, and we stood in the middle of the parking lot in front of our office, held hands, and prayed to God to bring Cat in the house or something, in the kennel or whatever, give us a plan on how to get Cat. So we get answer. Peggy said, I got it. Let's go get some food, canned food, open door to the office, set the canned food just inside the door, all hide behind the door, and when the cat comes in, slam the door closed, and we'll have her at least in the office. Okay, I go get the food, I set it down, Peggy behind the door, I start taking 3 steps to my desk, all of a sudden the door slams, I scared the daylights out of me and jumped up and I look at her. I said, what'd you do that for? She said, I forgot. I didn't expect it to be so quick. Cat was in the office, door slammed, now we got her. And to me, that would, only God could have done that because that cat was not getting in the trap. And I only have 1 more day to go before we moving. And I wanted to share that with you because I still have her and they're just wonderful. That's how I got all the cats in one time. I already had 2 and now I got 3 more. Plus a dog. Okay, alright. Now, I want to move on because now I'm going to tell you what not to do when you're praying. Okay, so I'm sitting in my office and Peggy would come in the office and I had another chair in the office. And she would always sit there, we'd discuss whatever was happening that was needed to be discussed. And then she'd go back on and do her thing. Okay, so I was having issues with a patent. I won't go into detail because it's not important. And I was really upset that it wasn't going as smooth as it should have. And it was costing a ton of money. Huh, goodness sakes. Anyways, Peggy leaves the office and I'm sitting there and I'm just so, I just felt just so beaten. And I'm talking to God. I visualized God sitting in a chair, Heavenly Father. And I said, Jesus, what are you gonna, I'm talking looking dead at chair like he's in it. What is this happening? What am I supposed to do? I try to do everything, this and that, but still, I just keep getting these waves of negativity coming my way. What the world? What's going on? I say all this, I jump up out of the chair, and I start to take 3 steps because I'm gonna leave the office. And as soon as I reach for the door, I hear as clear as day. Now, don't I get a chance to speak? It stunned me because I heard it audible. And I'm like, whoa. And I know it came from chair. And all of a sudden, with my mind's eye, I could see him sitting there like men sit with their legs kind of crossed in his hands. Can they see that? How I'm sitting with the hands like this? Wait a minute, let me move that. Don't show it. It's no, okay, go ahead. He was sitting like that, all relaxed, and he just said, calm as day. Now, don't I get a chance to speak? Okay, now I'm standing there. I got God's ear. Something moved away from me. I can hear him speaking to me. I know he is in the chair. And what do? You think, sit down. Ask him about the lottery numbers. I got his ears now. Give me lottery numbers. No, that's not what I do. I open the door, run out of the room, clean up the outside of the house, bust in Peggy's off. Peggy, you're not going to believe what just said. You're not going to believe. She said, what? I said, I was sitting, I'm always talking to God as if he's in the chair. I said, I was saying this and that, and I heard him say very clearly, now don't I get a chance to speak? She know I'm not kidding. What did he say? I don't know. I came over to tell you what just happened. I have no idea. I take off. I run back over to my side of the house, and I'm thinking, oh my God. I go in the room. Now the walls are shut. I hear nothing. It's gone. So the point to that story was, it's useless to ask God to answer prayer and then not wait for answer. So we have to be sure that we're giving him the time to speak. And we're waiting to hear him, because he was sitting there the whole time listening to me go on and on and on, never interrupted. Finally, when I finished, he asked me a simple question, and I didn't wait for the answer. So I want to share that. That's how not to do it. Okay, that's all my stories that I have for you to share. But I just want to really ask that you would team up with me. And please, please, give me a little heart. That'll let me know how you feel about this plan. And then share your story. Tell us how God has answered a prayer for you that made such an impact to you that you knew only God could have done it. And if we all do that, the objective here is we are trying to get the ears of our sisters and brothers, because remember, Dad wants all of us home, and we want to help bring them home so that we can make him happy, because we love him so much. We just want to please him. So I thank you so much for joining in and watching, and please subscribe to my channel. It's Sheila Shaw, S-H-E-I-L-L-A, Shaw, S-H-W, YouTube channel. And then you'll be able to get the videos as they come out. And next time, I'm going to try to get back to the nuggets, because they have some really good nuggets to share for you. So hopefully God will let me do that. But at this point, I'm just going to just let it go and just keep calling them part 1, part 2, part 3. Leave it at that, because I never know what's going to come out. Okay, Peggy, do you have anything to add before closing?
With Cherry's story,
Yeah.
I prayed the moment Cherry left. The moment little Cherry got lost in the forest. So that
Did
was
I
four.
not say that?
4 days I was praying and 4 nights. I remember that. So we all need prayer warriors praying behind the scenes.
Right.
Definitely.
Well, definitely, because if you hadn't been praying,
well, I don't know, but God was
I know, because she was counting on me and I was counting on you, because I knew if we didn't find that dog, I don't think she would have been able to survive it. I really don't. Yeah.
And Sheila, you might want to talk about how these times are really tough, and if we're feeling doubtful with God, to write down all our answered prayers in our lives. So look back at our hard times in our lives.
Right.
And how did you get through it? Or I prayed for this and you got through it, to get you to where you are today. Because God's going to answer our prayers for tomorrow.
Excellent. And that's an excellent point. So while you're going to share one of your answered prayers on our comment section, keep writing down, so like Peggy said, you can remember and know that God answered your prayers. Okay, before closing, I want to ask that it's my understanding that when you put, the more likes you have, thumbs up, the higher you go on the ratings, so people can find the video. So I'd like to ask for, if you like it, please put thumbs up. No thumbs down, just thumbs up. Anyways, and also, I'm trying to, I know a lot of you are finding me, well, no, I won't say that because I don't know how you can find me. But if you can help just spread the word, because I'm having a hard time balancing, trying to make the videos, get them uploaded, and promoted at the same time. It's just a little overwhelming. So if you wouldn't mind, if you like what I'm bringing to you, please share it throughout your communities. I would appreciate that, and have them subscribe so that they can tune in. And boy, I am at a gas at this point. Okay, thank you.